In this video, we're going to look at how to be able to use Google Slides to serve as one of the more frequently requested items by teachers in our district, which is having a digital seating chart. So Google Slides we normally think of as using to do presentations, but you can do so much more with it. And so in this video, we can see here, I have a template or a practice presentation created that is called Mr. OD's seating charts. And on slide number 1, I've created, and I just put my name in here with my seating charts. And the subsequent slides, you can see on the left, 2, 3, and 4, are going to be the different classes or periods that I'm going to have. Each slide is going to represent a different class for one of my courses during the day. So I'm going to click on slide number 2, and I've already pre-done this here. I've put a text box, or actually a word art in the upper right-hand corner, and I labeled that second period. I'm going to change that for each subsequent slide to represent the different period that I'm in. And then I've drawn a shape here to represent a box for one of the students in my classes. This is simply done just by drawing a shape, insert shape, and I drew a box. And you can change these based on the shape of the your desks to be able to fit more or less. And then you would type within here to get your student's name and so forth. You could change the font size, shape, color, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to say, let's take this particular one here. The name Rachel O'Donnell. I'm going to change, you can see, change the fill color to gray, or to a tan here. And now I have many more students I need to be able to add in here. So here is the tip is if I grab the box, not on the inside, but if I actually grab the line, you can see how my cursor changes to a 4-pointed arrow here. And if I move one direction or another, it simply moves it, and we're all familiar with that. You can see the red line across the top shows that I'm on the same line at the top. But now I'm going to right-click and copy this box. And now in another spot, right-click, paste. And now I have 2 of them. Now many of you may be thinking, that is a long way to go if I have 36 kids in my classes. And I'm going to show you a trick to get around that. So I'm going to actually get rid of this. I'm going to right-click and delete, or right-click, cut, and get rid of it. So now, you can't see this because I'm going to be using my keyboard, but with your left hand, or your offhand, I'm going to hold the control button. By holding the control button and now dragging, this is going to do something different. Instead of just moving the box, it makes a copy of it. So I now went from 1 to 2, and now thinking about exponential growth, watch this. I'm going to draw a shape around these 2 boxes. I've highlighted 2 of them. Using that same technique again, I'm going to hold control and drag. 2 now becomes 4. I'm going to do that again. Watch this. Drag a box over all 4 of them. 4 highlighted. Hold control again and drag. 4 now becomes 8. Now I have 8 Rachels across the top. I'm going to drag and highlight all of these. Now if I'm going to hold here, drag and pull down, 8 becomes 16. And you can see here I can continue to drag and make more and more and more until I have them all done. Then now I have them all the same student, but now simply I can just go into here and change the names from Rachel O'Donnell to each particular student. So John Smith, I can highlight down here and just simply type in the names. Here's a quick tip. You know how if we click once on a box, it puts my cursor inside of it. Twice on a box highlights one word. If I do a 3 fast triple click, highlights all of them to create a quicker way to select all of the text. And so there I can just quickly go around. Now the nice part is once this is all done and I have all of my students, I simply can move them around. If I wanted to move John up here, and I wanted to move Sally down to the right-hand corner and replace that one over here. Helps me be able to quickly move. And using these red lines that you can see, is the program's trying to be able to line them up. And so that's how I can create sort of a standard grid pattern using a Google Slides. If I would go to File and Print, I can now print this particular document, and it's going to give me a standard 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that's going to have all of my classes on there by period, 2nd period, 3rd period, 4th period, and such. And that I can use for my day-to-day as I check to see which kids are absent and which are here. Also can leave this for substitute during subplans and so forth. Now some of our classrooms may be different, so I wanted to show you on the next slide, slide number 3, we can have different shapes. And here what I've drawn is a circle and put text boxes on this time, like I did before. But now the text boxes, I wanted you to be able to see is that you can now click on one of them. And if you, every time you have a text box, you have the shapes, but also there's a circular button on the top or a handle. If I click on this one, you can see that I can rotate the names. Some of you want to be able to have a little bit more control or be able to see the, make it look a little bit more like they would in your classrooms. And so create one of these a shape with all of the names. And again, if I highlight all of them, I'm going to use that same tip before. This is a huge one. Hold Control and drag. Now I have a whole separate one here. So say if I had 5 giant circular tables in my room, there's 2. That's number 3. Control drag number 4 and control drag number 5. And from here too, like I said, you can change your label up on the top from 3rd period to 4th period or whatever. You can give it a name. This is biology, this is integrated 1 math, and so forth. You can put notes on here for yourself or for a substitute teacher. And you can also, I just have it simply white and black, but you can change the background and you can change the colors. You can give names to such your groups and so forth. And then the last one's kind of a neat tip, but this is particularly only if your school is using Aries for daily attendance. And that will allow you to be able to use student pictures. And so here I can see I have created a new class. I call this one 4th period. And I put a text box in here for a student's name. And I've already copied and put one particular picture in here of a student. Let me get rid of that one and show you how to be able to do that. If I'm going to go over to my Aries tab, and here is all of my students. Now, in this particular, here at Rockland High School's example, you can see that there is period attendance, and so teachers are able to move and create their own seating charts. But what you could simply do here is right-click and copy one of these particular images of a student. Come back over here, paste this one. Here we go. There we go. Now comes that picture. I'm going to move the picture of this student into the right spot that I want, change the shape and size of it, and so forth, and put it there. Now by highlighting the 2 of those, I can now do the control drag and start to be able to lay them out in whatever shape my particular class is, and swap those images out like I did before with the different students. Now it makes some of you may be thinking this is a bit of a task, but the nice part is once this is done, it's done, and then I can simply be able to move them around throughout the year as I change them based on the semesters or quarters or however you want to be able to move your how often you want to be able to change your classes. The last thing I want to share with you all is to take a look at this slide in the Google slideshow that I'll be sharing with you as an example, a demo of what this could look like. You can see here I've added a few things besides just the normal desks to sort of be, for a couple reasons. One, to give some context for you or the substitute to kind of orientate yourself so you know where the door, the front of the room, the teacher desk, and all that kind of stuff is, and to give it a little better flow and feel. And then you can use this thing, since it is a Google slide, feel free to go to File, and that's up here. If you go to File and make a copy, you can now have a copy of this for yourself. And what's nice about that is then what you can do then is start changing these around. So let's say for example, if I take one of these seating, the desks, I can move them the different directions as I want to be able to move the desks in my room. Or watch this, I can even rotate them, because a lot of teachers sometimes will be able to say, I want my kids facing each other in rows or so forth. So these are some different ideas that you guys can use as you start thinking about your seating charts. So lastly, I will be sharing this link out in the email I'll be sending to you if you want to be able to have a copy of this. But also you can go to this particular website here, bit.ly/RUSD seating. That will take you to this particular seating chart where, like I mentioned before, you can go File, make a copy, and good luck as you start experimenting and playing around with different seating charts.